Welcome back to the Carbon Box Media YouTube channel. We are here back with Carlton Clark, Carlton with Casa Clark, actually. We have an interesting topic today. We are talking about how to hire an SEO agency without getting scammed. Carlton, talk to me about this, man.
Yeah, Brandon. So I'm actually going to come out of the gate swinging with a pretty hot take, which is that most businesses probably shouldn't hire an SEO agency. And I know that's a really weird thing to hear from someone who runs an SEO agency and who's been doing SEO for the last 15 years. But hiring an SEO agency at the wrong time is actually, I think, the biggest reason for why SEO campaigns fail. The second reason, of course, is just hiring the wrong SEO agency. So SEO works best when it's compounding an already functioning marketing system, right? Not when it's being asked to rescue a broken one, or you're a startup brand with limited budget and also, a small customer base. You don't know what your messaging is or your ICP is, right? So SEO is great when it's building off of momentum that already exists. So that's really why we end up seeing brands spending thousands of dollars, waiting 12 months or more, and getting nothing back from their return.
Dude, I was not expecting you to say don't hire an agency, but give me more, man. Like, what are you going to talk about in this video?
Yeah. So number one, how do you determine whether SEO is actually the right investment for your business right now? And then why some companies see results quickly and why others don't. It's part of how you set up the campaign and then also who you hire. The number three is what a modern SEO agency should actually be doing beyond just posting blogs and doing backlinks. Number four is going to be, if you haven't hired an agency, what are the 8 questions you should go ahead and ask them? And then lastly, we're going to talk about, for those folks in the room who already have an SEO agency and they really don't know what they're doing, what questions should you ask those folks to know if they're actually giving you a return on your investment?
All right, so let's jump into that first question, man.
Yeah, so part one, should you hire an SEO agency? So here's the first thing you need to understand is that SEO is a long game. It's not meta ads, it's not Google ads where you could just start a campaign and start seeing leads and customers tomorrow. In some industries, you might be able to see traction in 3 months, and I'm going to share some ways to actually expedite your SEO campaign. But in competitive industries, it could take 6, 12 months to see results. And you're going to have to invest quite a bit of money before really seeing meaningful returns. So our most explosive SEO case studies are all from brands that are really fitting one of 3 criteria, if not more. Number one, they're in a viral market, with tons of media exposure and excitement. There's tons of people going to their site because they heard about the brand on TikTok or Instagram. There's a lot of branded search traffic, and that causes Google to pay attention. It's kind of like being the kid who hangs out with the popular kids in high school, and then you become a popular kid as well, right? That's kind of how Google works. Number two is they are an established brand, usually, maybe over multiple decades in their industry. So they already have trust, they already have credibility, both with their customers and with Google and, other search engines. Number three is you could be a new brand, but you have to be introducing a unique solution, a unique way of solving a problem that is really interesting, newsworthy to people, and stagnating in an industry, right? So if you fit into one of those 3 categories right off the bat, I think SEO can work for you. Cool. So reason number 2, or factor number 2, is you need an existing marketing engine, like I said before. So again, I'll repeat the analogy. SEO is kind of like high school. When Google sees you hanging out with the popular kids, it assumes you're popular too. Authority matters a lot. If nobody's talking about your brand, you don't have any backlinks, any mentions on, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, no one's already searching for your brand, branded traffic, you don't have any existing customers, it really doesn't matter what you do. Changing your title tags, improving your site speed, it's not going to just all of a sudden help you rank on Google. So that's actually why I usually recommend businesses establish, paid ads or an email marketing channel, organic social media, partnerships. Those are all going to help you, number one, make money faster. And then number 2, make your SEO campaign succeed a lot quicker. Jumping into number 3, you have to know how competitive your market is. So if you have a brand new website, there's 0 authority, 0 backlinks, and you want to try and rank for like GLP-1 for women, good luck, buddy. Like some keywords are billion-dollar battlefields. We actually turn away a lot more SEO clients than we actually accept. But one thing we do for businesses that come to us and say, hey, I want to rank for this huge golden opportunity keyword, I always say the riches are in the niches. Like, so if you want to try and rank for GLP-1, it's going to be very difficult, but maybe GLP-1 for menopausal women, for example, right? Or ex-athletes, that are now dads and getting fat at their office job, right? Super specific niche. Yeah, I'm not calling you out, brands. But I mean, dude, that's a good point. Like 2 things. Number one, that's super niche. So those people, when they're searching for those solutions on Google, it's super high intent, right? And then number 2, if you are searching that, man, as you're going to be a dad pretty soon, you're probably going to buy if someone's selling you that exact solution, right? Like if you just see a GLP-1 ad or just like any, health ad, you're probably going to disregard. But if you see an ad that's like, holy, that's like speaking exactly to me, it's going to be a lot higher intent. So that's why we try to go after targeted niches. You can sell it to whoever you want in all of your other marketing. Be very broad if you want. It's up to you, but I would still say be very specific in those channels too. But for SEO, we want to start small. Which is a good segue into point number 4. I pretty much explained it. Again, start with the low hanging fruit. Don't try to rank for the biggest keywords first. It's backwards, actually. Number 1, find underserved niches. Find specific buyer groups, as I shared. Find people who are already aware of the problem they have and maybe also aware of the solution that you sell, and they're just looking for your brand. These, again, have less competition. They're going to have higher buying intent, and they're also going to have faster rankings. Cool. So that concludes whether or not you should actually do SEO. If some of these things ring true to you, number 1, find an SEO agency. If they don't, what you need to do is fix where the actual problem is in your brand. So if you have a website that's not converting, SEO is not going to fix that. You need to fix your conversion rate problem. So earlier I said we turn away a lot of business, and what I end up doing is saying, hey, you need to work with our CRO team, right? Or hey, maybe you should work with our meta ads team to get some quick wins and some traffic to your website. And then you can find out you have a conversion rate problem, then you fix your website, and then you have an established marketing channel where then you can start building SEO off the back of that. All right, so let's actually get into what I think is a big SEO myth and problem in the industry is that a lot of SEO agencies sell SEO like it's a traffic solution, when again, really it's not. If I visit your website and I can't figure out what you sell, who you serve, and why it's different, why it's unique, and within 5 seconds, why do you think Google can, right? Google's not going to be able to do that either. So more traffic does not fix bad positioning. It doesn't fix a bad user experience on your website, and more traffic doesn't fix a bad offer, right? Those are all things you can fix through paid advertising and conversion rate optimization first, because a huge ranking factor is actually the user experience on your website. If people are clicking away from your website as soon as they land on it, Google knows that, especially if you have Google Analytics installed. Google pays attention to that because Google search is a product, right? So think about, to make an analogy, think of Walmart. Think if Walmart has a really poor performing store where people just walk in and they just leave immediately, they're totally disgusted by it. Eventually, corporate's going to come down and be like, hey guys, either you got to fix this or we're going to shut you down because we know our model works, right? And how people walk into your Walmart is reflecting on all the other Walmarts, right? Google's the same way. If your website sucks, they don't want your website on their list of retail stores, for the analogy. So again, you have to make sure you have clear messaging, clear positioning, and offer people actually want. And then you got to be at the cool kids table, right? That's really how you could accelerate SEO quickly. Cool. So the first brand I want to walk through is called Grace Rose Farm. They sell roses online. I wouldn't say they're very new. So on their website, you could say for over a decade. So they've been in business for a while. They really fit into that legacy brand category. They have a ton of trust. This is the founder right here, Gracie Linda. Awesome person. She has, probably over 1 million followers on social media. She's viral herself, let alone her brand. So this is a brand that could really win at SEO quite easily. And what you can see is over the last 90 days, year over year, we've helped them have an 83% increase in total sales from SEO. So you can see Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and ChatGPT, as well as some of the sales channels. 83% increase in sales. So how do we help this brand see such a huge increase in SEO? Sales, it really all comes down to the collection pages. We help them create a lot of collection pages targeting different personas, different types of people, different solutions and products, and then optimizing those collection pages to actually rank. So if you're a brand who sells in an established industry, roses, it's never going to really go out of style, and you have an established credible business and customer base, then you can win at SEO if you structure the SEO campaign correct. Cool. So let's talk about a brand on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. So this is a synthetic nicotine pouch brand. They're a startup brand, started early last year, 2025, and they're introducing a new way to take pouches, right? So some of the brands like Zyn are huge, established, credible brands. You can't just outrank Zyn overnight. So what they do is they have a new clean formulation. People are, what we found, are Googling clean nicotine pouches without fillers and harmful types of tobacco and nicotine rather. We were able to corner a new and emerging market for this brand. They really had zero domain authority, zero backlinks, really not a lot of credibility online, but because they had such a new solution that nobody else is offering, we're able to quickly rank by targeting the right keywords. So the keyword cleanest nicotine pouches gets a few thousand searches per month. And we're able to get them ranking #1 for that because Google was quickly able to realize that based off of their reviews and customers they have, they truly do have the cleanest nicotine pouch. And we're able to get this blog post to rank #1 for that keyword for this brand. The results: year to date, this blog has generated 409 sales. That's a blog post we're talking about, which typically blogs people think can't generate sales, but they definitely can generate sales.
That's awesome. That's insane.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. So, but really, what this brand did well is they had positioning already. They came to us with a product that's with clear positioning in a new and emerging market, and not all we had to do, and what we did is find the keywords that those people are looking for, and then basically just align the cannons in that correct direction. Let's get into what a modern SEO agency should actually be doing. So the modern SEO agency should also be a CRO and website design agency because, again, Google doesn't care about rankings anymore. Google cares about user experience. Things like time on site, engagement, conversion signals, and user satisfaction matter. The goal is not traffic. The goal is revenue, right? So don't listen to SEO agencies that just promise you more traffic. They should be a key stakeholder in your conversion rate for all of your marketing channels, not just SEO, but of course, mainly for your SEO marketing channel. So let's go ahead and break down what a real SEO campaign actually looks like. So step one is market and keyword research. So before touching the website, you need to figure out three things. Number one, what is your total addressable market? Who are you actually trying to reach? Number two is to figure out of those keywords, what are actually realistic opportunities? And then number three is to map buyer intent. So of those keywords, which ones are actually going to generate sales? Which ones are more supporting content? It's not bad to have content and pages that aren't necessarily generating sales, but they're driving traffic to your website. There's tons of benefit to that. I'd say it's like a 70-30 approach. So our keyword research, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show an example of how we look at keyword research. Cool. So the first thing that we actually do when we do keyword research for a brand is really, really deep customer and market analysis. So we want to know a few things. What do you sell? Who do you sell to? What problems do you solve, and how do you solve those problems? What are the solutions, the mechanisms, and then what are the mechanisms or the unique selling propositions? So we're going to group all of the keywords we go after into those different buckets. So right now we're looking at a brand that sells hair products for men. Their main product is called a pomade for your hair. And so through the keyword research and actually their analysis, we found that the pomade is the best-selling product. So our what you sell keywords are going to be based around their pomade, obviously, right? Now, next we have who you sell to. And what we do is we break it down into different attributes. And I'll refer back to one of our past YouTube videos, Brandon, of how to do keyword research for e-commerce brands. And this is following our 5 keyword pillar framework. Again, what you sell, who you sell to, the problems you solve, how you solve them, and then the mechanisms or the solutions you provide, and then the unique selling propositions of those solutions. So once we figured out the keywords for what you sell, we come here, you can see keywords around pomade. The next thing is to figure out what are the keywords for who you sell to. So who is buying this pomade? So it's 99% men obviously buying this product, but what's unique about different types of those men? Some have thick hair, some have fine or thin hair, some have curly hair here. So what we have in this sheet is over 50,000 keywords that we might be able to potentially help this brand rank for. Okay, great. So you can see keywords for like best pomade for thick hair, best pomade for curly hair, right? You can see these keywords, these long tail keywords that we're going to go after and create specific types of content for this brand. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole keyword research procedure, but just high level, follow our 5 keyword pillar framework, figure out where your products fit into them, then find keywords based of all of those. And these are all what we call clusters. And then the content below that would be pillars. So the pomade cluster is going to have water-based, pomade for thick hair, pomade for women as the different pillars below it, all that have content about that. Cool. That's step 1 for a SEO campaign. Step 2 is going to be your website architecture. So most websites are a mess, especially for stores that sell, hundreds if not thousands of products. So how you organize that is really important. And this is again where SEO becomes CRO. If somebody lands on your website, their first job is to figure out what you sell. Their second job is to figure out, is it worthwhile to me to pay for that? The third job, and where brands really drop the bucket, is how can I find what I'm actually looking for? So for Grace Rose Farm, we have things broken down by obviously rose bushes and bouquets. That's the first question you ask. Am I planting a bush or am I buying like a bouquet for somebody? The second question might be, what color do I want, right? Or maybe a specific type of bouquet. Same thing for rose bushes. Another customer attribute is where they're located. These different zones are where different types of rose bushes thrive, right? So you don't want to buy a zone 11 rose bush if you live in zone 4 in the US, for example, right? People also want to compare different types of roses, for example. So we give people different buying options, and this is what people are looking for when they land on your site from a Facebook ad. But people are also Googling pink roses, right? Pink rose bouquets, white rose bouquets, right? So that's where the two things mix together. Number three is, again, building those revenue pages, building revenue collection pages. So this brand here, Multi Coolers, they sell travel cooler bags. It's a new and emerging product in a standard kind of stagnant industry. And what we found is people buy their products for different uses. So what we created are these use case pages, right? People are going to Google and looking up golf cooler bag. So we build these collection pages specifically targeting those people. These are high intent, high conversion rate keywords. They land on this page. They see, oh, sweet, it's a golf cooler bag. I love to have a cooler bag that I can actually fit inside of my golf bag or carry on my back as I walk the course, right? There's the product. Here's some USPs and lifestyle imagery, and boom, number one, you rank for this keyword because no one else has a page like this. And number two, people actually buy on your website. Other types of pages for local businesses would be service pages and location pages. For B2B or SaaS, you want to build industry pages, solution pages, and feature pages. Step four is going to be CRO and UX improvements. So for brands where we start with SEO, once we increase their traffic, the goal is to get that traffic to convert as much as possible. And that's where our CRO team comes in. Step five is going to be content expansion. So when you have really clear positioning, we can just really go gangbusters, creating tons and tons of blog content, informational content, infographics, to really go after people who are just problem aware. They're going to Google and looking up why are my roses dying, right? And then we have a blog post talking about the USDA hardiness zones. And then they land on the site and they love the buying experience of being able to choose roses based off of where you live. Let's get into questions that you should ask before hiring an SEO agency. So number one, is SEO even right for us? So I've already talked at the beginning of this video about how to understand that. Watch that again and then ask the SEO agency those same things. Number two, ask them to explain their process. How do you actually get results for your clients? Now, I'm actually not against quote unquote cookie cutter SEO campaigns because you want to work with an SEO agency that has gotten results for other brands in similar industries, like e-commerce, for example. And what works for one e-commerce brand typically works for another. So the way you can get quick results is working with a SEO agency that has a process for your industry. Now, number three is who is actually doing the work. So within our agency, we have a SEO strategist who follows our process for e-commerce brands, but then he's also experienced enough to know how to trim the fat. And for example, not do a technical SEO audit that takes a month for a brand that just started. For that brand, they need to build content quickly. For larger brands with thousands of products, we start with technical SEO, right? Because there's a lot of cleanup to do. So below that senior strategist who's making the decisions and communicating with the client, he's leading the campaign direction. And below him, he has a designer to design new pages in Figma, a developer to develop those pages in Shopify, a junior SEO strategist who's usually also a developer, a back-end developer to improve the site speed, fix title tags, so on and so forth. And then number four is a content writer or content team to create content for those pages. Question number four is, again, show me brands like ours that you've worked with and gotten similar results. So if you're an e-commerce brand, I'd ask to see other e-commerce brands. If let's say you sell shoes, you could be like, show me other shoe stores. But that might be a little bit too niche. It's okay if they've just worked with other e-commerce brands or just other SaaS companies. They don't have to have worked with like all your competitors, for example. Number five is, do you specialize in SEO or is it just an accessory? So a lot of marketing agencies, SEO is kind of just like an accessory service to make more money. For us, no, like SEO is what I do. That's my passion. It's what I've done half my life. And that's our core offer, right? Number six is, how often do we communicate? Should be at least once per month, but for a lot of our clients, we do weekly calls. Number one, because we have things we need from them, action items. And number two, SEO can move pretty fast when it's done well. And every week we have new deliverables to share with them, new action plans, new pages. Number seven is, what are you actually going to build for us? What new pages are you creating? What keywords is that going to improve? What content are you publishing? And what technical changes are you making? Number eight will be, how do we measure success? Obviously, revenue and traffic. So those are the 8 questions you should ask an agency before hiring them. So here are the 4 questions you should ask your current SEO agency to make sure that they're not scamming you. So before I share the 4 questions, I'm going to share a quick story, and you're probably going to be able to relate to that if you have an SEO agency. So I was on a call with one of our CRO clients going through some new website designs, and about 6 months ago, they actually hired us to write 15 blog posts for them. Now, fast forward to today, those blog posts are generating over 100 sales per month for them, number one. Number two, they actually hired an SEO agency to help them improve their SEO. Now, this client was really happy with their work, and he showed me the keyword ranking improvements that this SEO agency got for them. And what I noticed is that all of those keyword ranking improvements were from the blog posts that we wrote. So this is actually a pretty common occurrence with SEO agencies, is they actually just ride off of the work of other people and say, hey, your SEO traffic is going up. Obviously, it's because of us. Pay us more money. So here are the 4 questions you should ask your SEO agency to know that they're actually doing work and providing you value. Question number 1 is, what new keywords are we ranking for today that we weren't ranking for when we started? Again, this SEO agency came to them when they were already ranking for keywords that we helped them rank for. Number 2 is, what new pages have you created to help us rank for these keywords? So the biggest needle mover in SEO is going to be creating new pages to rank for keywords that your current pages can't rank for already. Number 3 is going to be, which high intent or high traffic keywords moved from pages 2, 3, and 4 onto page 1 as a result of your work. And what specifically did you do? That may have been creating new pages, or it may have been optimizing existing pages as well, which is a good use of time for an SEO agency. Question number 4, and this one really trips up a lot of brands, is show me our branded versus non-branded traffic. So don't let your SEO agency take credit for an increase in non-branded traffic, because what happens is you have a winning meta ad, and all of a sudden your traffic skyrockets from Meta specifically. But what people also do is they see your ad on Meta, they go empty the dishwasher, and then they come back to Google, look up your brand, and find your website. That's not a result of SEO, right? You should be already ranking for your branded keywords, unless your company is like Amazon delivery service or Amazon restaurant, for example, then you might not. But 99% of the time, you should be able to rank for your branded keywords. So ask your SEO agency those 4 questions to know that you're actually getting your money's worth, that they have a solid plan to help your brand grow on Google.
Carlton, I think this is a super valuable video, and I appreciate you diving into this stuff. Um, so this is what it sounds like to me. Is somebody
Mhm.
should book a call with us below. They should bring all this video with them and
Yep.
double check that we are the right team for them.
Yep.
And also they should audit their current team to make sure that they're not getting scammed. So
Yeah.
this is really cool. Anything else closing before we sign off here?
Yeah. So if you're watching this video, you probably think that SEO is a scam. I'll tell you, it's not a scam. It's just a long-term investment, and you need to make sure you have the foundation built for your brand, and then just the right SEO partner that sets realistic expectations to grow your search traffic.
Awesome. Okay. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.